back to my channel, The Transparent Homeschool. My name is Beth, and this is part 2 of my children's personal reader review for the year. I just made one for my daughter, and it ended up being a little bit longer than I thought, so I thought I would just make her video, and then I'm going to make my son's video. Now, he finished up his 5th grade year, so this would be really great books for 5th grade. So I'm going to get started with his list, and hopefully this video isn't too long also. My son's list is a lot shorter because his books are very long. He did not read as many, but he did read more challenging books. The first book that he read this year was Judy from the Good and the Beautiful, and it's a level 5, and he gave this a 5 out of 5. Then he read the Badger Hills Farm set. So last year we did level 3, and he read Timothy and the 10th Floor, and at the very end it alluded to there would be a series, and so when it came out I bought it, and he just consumed these very quickly. However, we are missing one, so I'll put a picture of it when I talk about it. We have number 1 is The Secret Door, and he gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. The next one is The Secret Room. I'm going to put a picture here because, again, we can't find it. So The Secret Room, he gave 5 out of 5 stars. The next one, The Message on the Stamps, he gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Number 4 is Oak Tree Mystery. He gave this 5 out of 5 stars. The next one is Clue in the Chimney. He gave this 5 out of 5 stars. And then The Hills of Herzl, he gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Out of the series, this one was his favorite. The next series that he read was the Wing Feather Saga. Again, box set and hardcover. I bought this for myself to read, and so he saw me reading it and he wanted to read it as well. This is a fantastic series. I cannot recommend it enough. If you have like older elementary kids or like middle school kids, this is a perfect series for them. So this one, On the Edge of the Dark Sea of Darkness, he gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. The next one is North or Be Eaten. He gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. The next book is The Monster in the Hollows. He gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. The last book is The Warden and the Wolf King. He gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Out of the series, this one was his favorite. To go along with this series, he read this one, The Wing Feather Tales. It's not a continuation of the Wing Feather Saga. This character here, he is in the story, but this book talks about a bunch of other tales in that universe. And so he read this book, and he gave this 5 out of 5 stars. The next book he read was A Good and the Beautiful book. Here's Juggins. This is also a level 5. He gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Then we read through the Totally True Adventure series. There's more of these, but these are just the ones that I got for him this year. I thought that he would really like them, and it turns out I was correct. He really, really enjoyed them. So the first one that he read was The $25,000 Flight. This he gave 5 out of 5 stars. Out of the whole series, this one was his favorite. Then he read The Curse of King Tut's Mummy. This one he gave 5 out of 5 stars. The next one was Balto and the Great Race. He gave this 5 out of 5 stars. He read Climbing Everest. He gave this 5 out of 5 stars. And the last one, Babe Ruth and the Baseball Curse. He gave this 5 out of 5 stars. And he said this was his second favorite in the series. Then he read Jane and Henry, a World War II adventure. This is from The Good and the Beautiful, and 5, and this is a level 5 book. Then he read the Maple Ridge series. This was a great series, a very quick read for him. Again, coming off of some of those thicker books, you know, lots of pictures and bigger text. So he enjoyed that, I think. So the first one that he read was Maple Ridge, Logan Price Makes a Mess. He gave this 5 out of 5 stars. The next one is Maple Ridge, The Lucky Wheel. He gave this 5 out of 5 stars. The next one is Maple Ridge, The Big City. He gave this 5 out of 5 stars, and this one was his favorite. The next one is Maple Ridge, The Ghost of Juniper Creek. He gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. The next one is Maple Ridge, Lost in the Blizzard. He gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. And Maple Ridge, The New Kid, 5 out of 5 stars. He really enjoyed this series a lot. The next series that he read was his favorite all year long, and he is begging me to make his sister read these so that they can talk about them. So I don't know. You can't make someone read something they're not interested, but we'll see. Maybe when she gets a little bit older, she will read them. But that is the Raising Dragon series. So there's 4 books. There's 4 books. And the author is Brian Davis, and he is a Christian author, so he really enjoyed his first kind of dive into Christian fantasy. So the first one is Raising Dragons. He gave this a 5 out of 5. The next one is The Candlestone. He gave this 5 out of 5. The next book is The Circles of Seven. And then the last book of the series is Tears of a Dragon. He could not pick a favorite, so he just gave all of them like the favorite star and the favorite series of the year. So that's that was his favorite. It was Wing Feather, and then he read this series, and now that took over. Then he had to read Chico of the Andes. This is a level 5 book. He had to read this for his language arts level 5. And it tells you in the course when to read, like which chapters and stuff. But he gave this book a 5 out of 5. Then we go on to the Good Deed Crew series. It's called the Grace Notes. And again, there's a few of them. They're very short. Coming off of some of those other series, I mean, he got through one of these books, I think, in a day. And so it did not take him that long at all to read these. But this was his second, after reading the Raising Dragon series, he decided that this series was his favorite over Wing Feather also. So this is his second favorite series. So the first one he read was Grace Notes, The Good Deed Crew, and The Pumpkin Surprise. He gave this book 5 out of 5. The cool thing about this is that in the very back of the book, of each of the books, there is a recipe that the grandma in here that she makes, and it's different for each book, and he oddly was really interested and eager to get to the end of the book, of each of these books, to figure out what the recipe is. And so a lot of these sound really good, and we might actually make some. So this was the Pumpkin Surprise. The next one is The Good Deed Crew and the Imposter Santa. He gave this book a 5 out of 5. The Good Deed Crew and The Secret Valentine, he gave this a 5 out of 5. The Good Deed Crew and the Easter Trumpet Mystery. He gave this a 5 out of 5. The next one was The Good Deed Crew and the Aspen Adventure. He gave this one 5 out of 5. The Good Deed Crew and the Art of Giving. He gave this a 5 out of 5. And then the last one he read was The Good Deed Crew and the Peach Festival Peril. He gave this 5 out of 5, and out of the whole series, this was his favorite. And then I literally bought these 3 days ago. Well, I had bought this one last year at the homeschool conference, and the author hadn't finished the series, and so he read this one, All Dogs Go to 7-Eleven, and he gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. And so when we went back to the homeschool conference literally days ago, I bought the rest of the series and brought it home. He found them and immediately jumped into them. And so this is Mission Impossible. Get it? He gave this 5 out of 5 stars. And then he is already he's already 3/4 of the way done with If You Give a Dog a Dictionary. And this one, he has already given a 5 out of 5. Alright, that's all of the books that my son read this year, this year that we just finished up, and he's really excited to read all of them, and I can't wait for all of his choices for next year that will be coming out in a little bit, so watch out for that video, and I will see you guys later. Bye!